city is the most complex human creation on Earth. It grows and develops from second to second like a living organism. Countless round-the-clock systems are required within it for the maintenance of healthy functioning. Yet for most of the time, the city's inhabitants are barely aware of them. At 2 a.m., the first cleaning patrols take to the streets in the megacity, that is Beijing. Their early morning shift marks the end of one day and the beginning of another. The ceremony is marked by a spray of water. At 3 a.m., maintenance worker Yuan Liang begins the daily inspection at a factory in one of Beijing's northwestern suburban counties. Yuan inspects the underground transport system that runs beneath the factory. At the other end of the line, his 2.3 million co-workers are waking up. They are the hens whose labor will soon be burdening the system. Every day, the underground conveyor belt carries 180 million eggs. To avoid spoilage or spillage, Yuan Liang must ensure that the belt is always working to the highest standard. Hygiene and disease prevention is another critical part of the job. The underground belt is vital to this. Beijing consumes about 21 million eggs every day, up to 1,300 tons in total. The factory Yuan Liang works in is responsible for 1/10 of this. To ensure the smooth operation of the urban supply network, the factory must produce its quota of fresh eggs for an astonishing 365 days a year. But the city can't just go to work on eggs. Delivery vans loaded with fresh fruit and vegetables arrive at supermarkets like this one all across the city. At around 3:30 a.m., the supermarkets are welcoming fresh goods. For them, the meat wagons won't be far behind.
19.6 kilograms.
Do you have cucumbers? 22 per bag?
Yes.
We usually receive 2 truckloads of fruit and 3 of vegetables every day. They are kept chilled in the freezer trucks to ensure they stay fresh.
The supermarket receives 10 tons of fresh food every day. In 2 hours, the shelves will be fully stocked. This time is the challenge to this highly tuned logistic chain. Most vegetables are past their best 24 hours after they have been picked. These scenes are repeated at tens of thousands of supermarkets across the country. At 3:50 a.m., Sehui subway station manager Cao Lixin arrives at her ticket hall. The first train of the day will depart from here in an hour's time. Before that, Cao Lixin and her team have a lot to check and prepare. Over the next 19 hours, the station will see 250,000 passengers pass through its gates. The subway system only stops for 5 hours a day. Those 5 hours are given over maintenance work and equipment checks. Tao must finish all the preparation in just 1 hour.
Are the West Hall's automatic ticket machines all ready?
Ready.
Okay.
There are 345 stations in Beijing, all going through the same routine to usher in the new day. Shanghai, 5 a.m., things are steering at the base of the tallest building in China. Li Fangming is a window cleaner. Today is a big day for him because after 3 applications to join the squad, he will finally get to work.
Take all the things you need.
On the 100th floor of the building, the maintenance window is slowly opened at the height of nearly 500 meters.
When the seasons change from autumn to winter, the whole Shanghai is frequently shrouded in fog. When the sun rises, it is incredibly beautiful, and we get to enjoy the whole thing for free.
Hardest impressions aside, it's out onto the cradle to start work. There are less than a dozen places with work so far from the ground. It's 6:30 a.m., and all around the city, a dawn chorus of clocks rouses the citizens. Soon after, millions of toilets will flush in near unison. Around half of the city's 20 million population get up at this time. In the minutes that follow, more than 100,000 cubic meters of water will be coursing through pipes and then drains. They are enough to fill 50 standard swimming pools. And this is just the beginning.
The display on this screen reads 3.35 meters. It shows the reservoir is 3.35 meters deep. The level is constantly changing. If this level drops, it means the city is reaching peak demand.
Beijing's average daily water consumption is 1.9 million cubic meters. This rises to 3 million cubic meters in summer. It puts the system under huge pressure, running at full capacity 24 hours a day. So it's vital that the system has a thorough inspection before the summer peak arrives. This huge culvert in southwestern Beijing is being reopened, which has been closed for the last 3 years. Engineer Yang Jinxin leads the underground inspection team. There are 2 pipes each almost 5 meters in diameter. The water that will flow through them will supply 1/3 of the city's needs. Yang doesn't want any accident to happen inside.
We're trying to finish the maintenance work before the season of peak demand arrives so that the city's water supply will be unaffected.
For the northern Chinese cities with deficient water resources, The huge amount of water consumption is a great challenge to face every day. Beijing's own 2 billion cubic meters annual water reserves can support 7 to 8 million people. However, the population of the city is already 3 times that number. China began to tackle this big problem 14 years ago. This is the head of a mega water project. Engineers Li Da and Wang Jingming are in charge of monitoring the water locks here.
Adjust 1275 to 1325.
Okay.
The actions they take here will directly influence the water available in cities 400 kilometers away. China's unique geography shows 2 great extremes. In southern China, water is abundant, frequently too abundant, with regular damaging floods every summer. Meanwhile, North China is arid with little rain for most of the year and always living on the edge of drought. The big idea was to build a series of grand canals to shift the water from south to north. In December 2014, the central route of the south to north water transfer project went live. The 1432-kilometer channel crosses rivers, railways, and highways, forming an artificial canal that connects the north and south. This is an unprecedented mega project. After a 2-week journey, 1/10 of the 26 million cubic meters of fresh water reached the north, its final destination, Beijing. However, the city does not have enough ground space to build an overground canal. The best solution is underground culverts, which are 4.7 meters in diameter and made from steel concrete and high-strength steel wires. To withstand the high pressure for ease of construction, each section of the pipe is limited to 5 meters, which means there are over 12,000 joints, each of which must withstand a pressure 8 times that of the natural water pressure. The main purpose of Yang Jingxin's visit is to check on the joints. After 3 years of working under pressure, are they still in good condition?
See if there is a crack. A horizontal or vertical crack.
Okay.
After 4 hours, the inspection team feels satisfied with the condition of the pipe joints. But Yang has found a problem on the pipe walls. The inner diameter of the culvert pipes is 4 meters when the water is pressurized. It flows at 8 meters per second. With such rapid flow of water and complete darkness, Yang is surprised to find creatures living on the wall.
It looks like a shell. It's commonly known as a marsh clam. If there are too many of them, it will affect the capacity of the system.
This tenacious creature is a major headache for aquatic engineers. Though it poses no danger as things stand, its presence cannot be ignored. In a few days' time, another expert group will convene and deal with the aquatic menace. Thereafter, the giant pipes will be refilled with the torrents of water that keep the city refreshed. after opening, the Sihui subway station hits its morning rush hour peak. This is the city's crowd distribution map over a 24-hour period, making large-scale mobility a necessity. The Sihui station is located between the city center and the new sub-center, where large-scale crowd flows are inevitable. In 2016, the daily passenger traffic volume on Beijing's rail transit system reached 8.24 million passengers, proving once again that underground rail transit is the most efficient and important transportation system. In this megacity, the system is still expanding rapidly. By 2020, it will have over 1,000 kilometers of traffic, making it the longest subway system in the world. At the same time, the established network is being quietly upgraded. On the track in southwest Beijing, a strange-looking locomotive hubs pops into view. It is called a cold slide locomotive. Engineer Wang Daomin uses it to test the track system.
Cold slide is a very critical period. After the cold slide tests are completed, the track is ready for use and can be opened for public service.
This is one of lines that cold slide locomotives are frequenting most.
We will go through every section of the line.
Wang repeatedly examines the new track because the line has had a complete equipment upgrade. The cold slide locomotive is equipped with all kinds of complicated sensors. While running on track, it can not only detect physical barriers, but also dynamically detect operational states of all the facilities on the track system. When it's completed, it will be the most advanced automated track system in the world. The purpose of the repeated checks is to achieve guaranteed operational perfection. The exterior of the cold slide locomotive seems fairly unremarkable. Inside is where its secret lies. With the most advanced track sensing system, the safest communication system, and the most reliable control system, all of these are integrated by a processor at the rear of the vehicle. This is the train's control equipment, or the brain of the train.
The calculation of positions, velocities, starting time, tractive forces, braking time, and braking forces are done by these electronic devices.
This device is specially installed for a fully automated driverless vehicle. If a larger obstacle is encountered, it automatically triggers the safety circuit, which will bring the train to an emergency stop.
Cities in the future will need more efficient and intelligent transit systems. This smart train will be part of Beijing's future rail system. In the morning, 10 a.m. sees Shanghai's demand for electricity surge. Electricity has become the lifeblood of modern society, and it is the power transmission lines which are the veins and arteries that keep it flowing. Summer is when electricity consumption is at its greatest. At this time, consumption can be 10 times the average. It certainly tests the city's power support system. About 800 kilometers away in the mountains of central China lies Shanghai's main source of power. In summer, huge electricity load will bring the ultimate test to the power line. Any potential problem must be eliminated before that. Maintaining the lines that transmit the power is a major challenge. It is obviously impossible to rely on trekking alone. When it is necessary, the staff need to use this tool.
Get together.
Air traffic control gives the visibility as more than 3 kilometers.
The aircraft is in good flight condition.
Fly for 3 hours. And go back and forth to check on it. Everybody is clear?
Yes.
Get ready.
Captain, the rear cabin is ready. Prepare to start. The period from June to September is the most critical period to secure power supply and the peak for electricity consumption. Working at full load, the drainage plate and the composite insulator mandrel are easily overheated. These defects can't be detected in routine inspections.
The most common cause of breakdowns in the lines is overheating. This is invisible to the naked eye, but the infrared cameras mounted below the helicopter can show the problem areas clearly. On today's flight, the cameras have identified some insulation blocks on line 967 are hotter than would normally be expected due to a blind spot from the air. A ground team will need to go in to confirm the observation. A variety of factors can cause the temperature rise. The problem must be seen to as soon as possible. After the inspection from both air and ground, a detailed report is filed to the command center. It is now the job of the maintenance team to come and fix the problem. By 11 a.m., the window cleaner's shift on the Shanghai Tower is drawing to a close. These high-rise buildings are not just monumental landmarks, but serve the important function of improving the land usage efficiency, especially in the central business districts, or CBDs, where there is a high concentration of people, goods, and information. The importance of good urban planning is self-evident here. In Shanghai's rival megacity Beijing, the CBD is expanding yet again. It is already one of the country's 3 core areas which generate over 100 billion yuan of business per year. In the future, more than 1 million people will work in this limited area. It is clear that the existing traffic system won't be able to cope. So to deal with this problem, a massive subterranean traffic development has been implemented.
On the right-hand side, we can see the roads under the CBD are actually divided into 5 layers. Basement level 1 provides a quick access from the subway lines to all the blocks in the core area. Basement level 2 is a fast track for motor vehicles. It connects underground garages with urban roads. Basement level 3 to basement level 5 are underground public garages and public civil defensive areas. Over there is a vehicle access. In due course, all the towers will be connected.
This huge underground space connects various buildings. The engineers have also set aside space for the building's utility systems so that they can link up smoothly with the municipal infrastructure.
This is the pipeline gallery on basement level 3. Here we can see 2 thermal lines safely laid in the gallery. This will prevent a collapse of the roadway if an underground pipe breaks. Its security system is maintained by patrolling robots. The signals can also be transmitted to the control center. There are also channels for power supply, drainage, telecommunications, and pipelines that provide support for different buildings. So this is a very comprehensive utility system.
In this huge underground hall, a large transformer substation will be installed, which will distribute power to the whole complex. From power heating and water supply to telecommunications, all the city's services and support systems are integrated in this huge basement.
The whole system, in fact, is hidden underneath the city, so the ground remains natural and green. It also ensures safety. Management of the underground space is actually very efficient through these underground levels. All the buildings are integrated into the core area as a whole. In fact, these are no longer individual skyscrapers, but an integrated super building.
To face challenges of this highly concentrated mix of people, material, and information, the giant underground pipeline gallery is an ingenious solution. To alleviate future traffic pressures, a special subway line just over 6.3 kilometers long is to be constructed. Before the design is confirmed and approved, the designers will work on every detail repeatedly.
At the junction of Genji Road and Chaoyang Road, the turning radius is only about 200 meters. It would be very difficult for a regular subway train to make that turn. The direction of the line, based on our general idea, goes from the Dongdaqiao in the northwest to Zhelongshan in the southeast.
There is no substitute for field experience when it comes to the optimization. In July, the temperature in Shanghai regularly reaches 38 degrees Celsius even before midday. Few people are willing to go outside in such weather. Zhou Rushuang can feel that a challenge is on its way.
Young Fan.
Here.
Zhou Rushuang.
Here.
Gao Lihui.
Here.
It's been very hot recently. We'll need to prepare some salt soda water when delivering the meals. Meeting over.
Zhou Rushuang is a food delivery man. His electric bike and his smartphone are the tools of his trade business. He estimates there will be 50% more orders today, up on the usual. As per the latest standards, to deliver 10,000 meals will mean carrying the equivalent of 1.5 tons of rice or noodles, half a ton of oil, 3 tons of meat and vegetables. In a city the size of Shanghai with a population of 20 million each and every meal, time consumes 10,000 tons of food. Based on past records in megacities like Beijing and Shanghai, more than 3 million delivery orders will come in before noon. In the case of rain or high temperatures, this number will increase substantially. Zhou Rushuang uses his smartphone to select the most suitable orders. The software then recommends optimized routes so that he can deliver meals in the shortest possible time to any location in the city. Daily delivery route looks like this, and there are more than 100,000 others like him working in the city, working at the same time. After a delivery is completed and confirmed by a press of the button on his phone, payment will be made immediately on a mobile payment platform. Today, internet developments have revolutionized the business environment for traditional industries. At 3 p.m., the automatic sorting system starts up again with a ringing of alarm bells. The warehouse comes bustling to life. The ordinary-looking industrial building in southern Beijing was once a manufacturing workshop. A year ago, a Chinese e-commerce company took an interest in this locale and fitted it with an advanced automatic sorting system. From the point of view of logistics, it's ideally situated to serve the city center. China today is experiencing a service boom based on the mobile internet and logistics industries. Figures from 2016 show courier deliveries of 31.28 billion packages at an average of over 85 million packages per day.
At the Tongzhou Sorting Center, the highest volume is around 450,000 packages per day. Our trolleys are fully loaded now. All of our employees are basically working flat out.
The sorting system is the key link that connects warehouses with buyers. Today, many goods bought online offer same-day delivery. Without the automatic sorting system, it would simply not be possible. After labeled parcels are delivered from warehouses to the sorting system, they will be allocated to designated blocks on the sorting line. As these blocks move forward, information about their destinations are automatically scanned and recorded. When a block passes by a bin whose destination is the same as the block's designated destination, the parcel is automatically dumped into the bin.
If the order belongs here, it will fall here. If the system predicts it belongs here, it's going to fall here. It begins to fall before it arrives. The system is predictive.
The automatic sorting system is 6 times faster than manual sorting. Every day, a tsunami of orders is constantly being generated. This company has 17 similar sorting centers to serve orders in Beijing. A city is like an organism with its own daily metabolic functions. The disposal of waste is one of these. Garbage trucks punctuate the winding mountain roads in one of Beijing's western suburbs. There is one garbage truck in every few minutes. At 5 p.m., they are headed for the Lujashan garbage disposal plant. The waste is first of all fermented in a 30,000-ton fermenting tank. After completion of the fermentation process, it will be sent to a boiler for incineration, and the volume will be reduced to 1/10 of the original. Its properties will also undergo a fundamental change after receiving a harmless treatment. It will be transformed into recycled building materials. At the same time, the heat generated by the incinerator is converted into electricity and returned to the grid to serve the city. Up to 3,000 tons of garbage are treated here every day. This produces 1.2 million kilowatt hours of electricity, enough to meet the needs of a small town. Garbage is an unavoidable problem for any city. At present, the best way to manage it is to sort it by type. Everyone needs to play their part in achieving this goal. The Beijing Olympic Forest Park is a great venue for everyday leisure. It has pleasant natural scenery with dense forests and a large lake. Few people know where that water comes from. In northern China, water is extremely scarce. There is certainly not enough fresh flow from the rivers. If there is no fresh water coming in, the urban waterways will become polluted and dirty. So, where does the lake water come from? The answer is here. Asia's largest underground water recycling plant.
This is our membrane pool or membrane bioreactor. The water goes through 9 processing treatments before it arrives here. You see, the water is bubbling. It has no smell. It will be filtered by the membrane, which has apertures of only a few microns. It then will go through ozone decolorization, ultraviolet disinfection, so that in the end, the water quality meets the standard of level 4 surface water.
This water recycling plant is not only capable of producing high-standard recycled water, but also works 3 times faster than an ordinary sewage treatment plant. Its magic weapon is this noodle-like material, which is the new type of filtration membrane. It is full of holes 20 nanometers in diameter. When used to treat sewage water, the vast majority of bacteria and viruses are filtered out. All sewage treatment plants in Beijing have been equipped with this type of membrane filter system.
This is raw sewage taken from municipal pipelines. It is very muddy, and values of various indicators are high. The pollution is serious. This is our final water. The color is clear. It is no different to regular tap water. The water meets the standard of level 4 surface water. All of the recycled water in Beijing can reach this standard. Besides, it greatly improves the water quality of rivers and lakes and brings down pollution levels.
Scientists and technicians are still working hard to achieve better filtering results. In the corner of this laboratory, a fluid experiment has been running for 10 days. Wang Xiaoshuang is head of the research team. She's looking to improve on the performance of the membrane filter.
Open the laser machine. Move the lens a little backward.
To test for higher water permeability and prolonged service life, the experiment, which simulates the sewage treatment environment, must run for 2 months.
Because our membrane unit is constantly contaminated by material in the sewage, when it is in operation, water flows and airflow are needed to cleanse the membrane surfaces to reduce this. If we find it's not evenly cleaned, we need to adjust the design parameters to prevent the membranes from becoming blocked and polluted.
Today, Beijing's tap water matches the highest standards found anywhere in the world, and it's still improving. At dusk, the city switches to leisure mode after the day's work. At 5 p.m., the Olympic Park sees preparations for a concert which will start in a couple of hours. There are already restless crowds waiting. For the smooth holding of this concert, preparations have already started earlier.
First, Jungang, you need to set up the emergency truck up as soon as possible.
Okay.
Jianhua, make sure the communication lines have no problem with connections to the backstage, especially with our Caishiku command center. Zhao, you are in charge of field equipment for the whole concert. We will do a complete system test. Thanks in advance for all your efforts. Okay.
There will be an estimated 60,000 people at the concert this evening. The demand for mobile services around the venue will be hundreds of times greater than usual. Before the concert, Zhang Xiongfei and his team will complete tests on signal coverage and data transmission from the stadium.
The quality looks quite good from here.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the test results.
The rate is normal, slightly over 20. That's no problem.
How much is it?
The download rate is more than 40 MB. Good.
What about upload rate?
About 10 MB. There's absolutely no problem.
Okay.
Beijing sees many large-scale gatherings in the course of a year and has done for decades. With an hour to go before the concert, the area around the stadium starts to fill. In 2008, the Olympic Stadium, known to locals as the Bird's Nest, was built. Its facilities were and still are state-of-the-art. But there has been one massive change in the intervening years: the rise of the smartphone. In 2008, the per capita daily mobile data in the world was less than 1 kilobyte. Today, it is 100,000 times what it used to be.
There will be tens of thousands of people all wanting to use their phones in the stadium. It is like taking all users within a 4 square kilometer area. This places a very high requirement on our communications support.
With 60,000 people view the concert, all wanting to upload photos and film clips to social media, the data traffic in this area will be 10,000 times the usual. Zhang Xiongfei estimates that data flow in this stadium within 1 hour after the start of the concert will be equivalent to data flow of the entire city 10 years ago.
It may seem like a very easy thing for you to take a photo and upload it to the network. If it's in open scene, one base station is enough. But the Bird's Nest can hold tens of thousands of people at the same time.
So we have installed 77 base stations and 984 antenna points around the track and between the different levels.
We have 6 additional base stations outside the stadium. We also have a standby emergency vehicle.
In terms of data stability, there should be no problem. If a particular station or data indicator shows fluctuations, we'll be on it right away to ensure the network won't get locked up.
The city is the stage on which we live, work, and play as our economies develop, and the quality of people's lives have improved. Today, we little by little become more and more dependent on unseen skills and services which we almost take for granted. It is one of the luxuries of modernity, how little we need to think about the comforts provided to us. Over the course of 24 hours in the megacity, every second sees a life pass away just as a new one enters it. The city and its citizens combine to make a living, breathing hole where marvels can beget miracles.